Driving to the land. Getting closer to the hidden valley.
Welcome to the hidden valley.
After almost 2 years of searching, we finally found our little piece of paradise here in Panauti, Nepal. We're building our home here and we're starting our own permaculture farm. It's kind of like a new chapter in our life and we're pretty excited.
How we came here, how we bought this piece of land.
We had been searching for probably 2 years, like off and on,
Right.
looking at different places around Kathmandu Valley, and then started to sort of like focus in on Panauti. And then it was like almost a year ago we found this valley, like we came to this
Yeah.
area. Last March, right before the second lockdown, and a friend of a friend who was living here brought us here, and Amma, who was our middle woman, she showed us a piece of land over there, and then kind of kept moving down this valley. Each piece there was something, either they had to sell all 54 ropani, which is like lots of acres, not sure what the conversion is. So that didn't end up working out, and then we moved to the next land over, and then there were 3 brothers. One of them didn't want to sell. We went over there, and the same issue. And at that point we were working with a different middleman who kept sort of coordinating and showing us new pieces, but he never had all the information. We'd be like, okay, we're gonna drive all the way to Panauti. Are you sure they're selling the land for this much? Come out here, and then finally we were seeing the land adjacent to this land. Previous owner, Sitaram,
He agreed to sell us. We spent a lot of time back and forth talking about the money and the price and everything.
we got somebody to come survey the land, and at that point we found out the land was less ropani, which was good because it meant it was cheaper. In the beginning of September, we finalized the deal with the price. We got the price a little down, and then we went to Dulikil,
Transferring the ownership of the land from their name to our names. So.
and the land is in Khadak's name because as a Bidesi, I cannot own land. We really love this spot. It ended up being like such a good find. This valley is really special. It's like this hidden oasis.
Yep, it's a really nice escape from Kathmandu. It's not too far, it's only like hour and a half maximum.
Luckily, when we first were driving out here, it was more like 2+ hours. First you go to Kathmandu, you exit Kathmandu Valley going east, and then you enter Kavre Palangchak, the next district over, and you go through a town of Banepa, and then you head southeast towards Panauti. And that road was a mess. The whole time you're like, it was awful. And then the final stretch from Panauti to here, which is still the same roads, and that's a pretty bumpy, rough road. But yeah, once you turn into this valley, it's like the chaos out there. You just forget about it. It's so peaceful here. You're just surrounded by pretty intact forest and agricultural land, orange orchards, so many birds, like our favorite part of this. There's also other wildlife around.
Yeah, like there are like deer, wild boars.
There's
out here.
jackals, which are like
Jackals.
coyotes.
Yeah.
There are
Animals
like little
like
weasel
rodents,
kind
yeah.
of things.
These are the animals that we have seen with our own eyes. We
Yeah,
are
there
yet
might
to
be-
explore. You know, it's natural, it's beautiful out here. This is what we like. One thing about buying this land was there were people who used to live here, and it was a good thing because there's already electricity and water accessible. They have already a lot of orange trees around here. They have a lot of vegetables.
Terracing.
Yeah. It reduced our work. One more good thing about this land is these people who sold us the land, they did like farming for
30
20 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The soil here is really
Yes,
good.
yes.
It's a nicely firmed. I mean, they added like fertilizer from cows and buffaloes every year. They used to produce like a lot of corn and mustard and lots of vegetables. So the soil is really nice.
When we're going to be doing farming, that's super important. Another thing we love is there's lots of places to explore around here, lots of like trails. You can go out south around a different valley.
Yep.
You can go up here. We found a soccer field and up to this clock tower up there. You can see views of the Himalayas and also from the top of the land.
Yeah,
Another
you can see
plus.
the mountains.
Another great thing about the land is we have friendly neighbors. We don't know all of them yet. We live near Charlie Baba, developed his own organic farm and also his own business.
Produces a lot of
Fruit trees.
He's going to be
We'll
one
buy.
of the major source of our trees.
We're building our home right now.
And the home is going
foundation.
to be a rammed earth technology.
And we're doing rammed earth, so we're super excited. Our idea was to keep all our structures as natural as possible, so using natural materials. So we're starting with our home being rammed earth. Hopefully we can build some future cabins that are either made of stone or hempcrete or some other materials that we can find locally, but maybe also just experiment with different types of natural building. And then, of course, we're building our small farm here. We want it to be as close to permaculture principles as we can. We're sort of learning that as we go. The valley stretches from east to west, and then we have land on both the south and north side. And on our south side, it's the shadier side facing north, and we've got a pretty big patch of natural forest, which is great habitat for all the birds. And then on our north side, south-facing side, is where we're planning to do most of our orchard growing. Here we're sort of standing on where our future food forest orchard will be, so we'll start with planting lots of different fruit trees. We've got a long list of plum, pear, apple, persimmon, the list goes on. So we'll start planting them soon because we're just ahead of the spring. So we've got our holes started. Then we'll bring down the compost and then we'll start planting trees. Maybe we'll experiment with some coffee plantation and tea plantation. Lilikoi, again, the list is long of all the things we want to try growing. We'll have a kitchen garden, of course, a large kitchen garden that will hopefully provide as much of our own vegetables as possible. And we want to learn how to preserve things in different ways, ferment stuff, make jams and jellies and cold store dry things.
We want this place to remain as natural as possible. We'll promote more trees and provide a lot of good habitat for the wildlife and the birds.
And we'll do some water work and maybe make a pond and figure out how to irrigate everything and do rainwater harvesting eventually.
We want to attract people to come here and visit us so that they can be in nature for some time. Yeah.
We've got our farm and eventually there'll be fruit trees, little things we can have our guests work on and help with, places to explore around. There are neighboring goats and animals, bird watching obviously, a nature walk, hiking around, and build a wooden tower to view the birds and a meditation platform and all these cool things and ideas that will happen probably not immediately.
Yeah, and what would it be like, if we were to show you this place in like 2 years' time?
I mean, that's the idea, right? That's why we want to start documenting it now and sharing the process we're going through so we can see and share how it develops and also get feedback and ideas from people out there in the world. We're really excited, so if you want to subscribe and follow us... What? Don't interrupt me. We're really excited, and we're really excited to share this... Journey sounds super corny. Want to share this... What's another word? Share this experience as we develop our farm and it evolves and changes and new ideas come in. And so if you want to follow us along this experience, don't forget to subscribe. And yeah, we'd love to hear from you. Any comments and feedback, suggestions. There's so much knowledge out there, so we'd love it to be incorporated into our farm here in Nepal.